and not calling and getting those unwanted calls. It's called Call Blocker. Anyway, we'd love to hear it if you own this item. There's our phone number down there. We will not block your calls. We will take your calls because we want to hear from you. But the product we're going to be talking about is called Call Blocker. And I'll tell you, for people like my mom, who I'll tell you, it's funny. My mom, you know, as you get older, you get a lot of these weird solicitous phone calls. People are bugging you all the time. They want to sell you this, sell you that. And you see those same numbers coming up and over and over again. What this is it's called the Call Blocker. And what the Call Blocker enables you to do with the touch of one button, it will prevent that caller from ever calling you again. It actually does block the call. Now, you can let them back in at any time that you would want to, but you can block the calls immediately, and that phone number will never be dialed on your phone again. You completely eliminate it. It's such a great idea. This is $89.95 every day of the week. We're doing it at a customer event price of only $79.95. The shipping is free. It's the easiest thing ever to set up. There's so many features built into it. You can actually block up to 1,200 different callers. Now that's probably more than you'll ever need, but think about it. Insurance people, people trying to sell you this or sell you that, vacation scams, all that stuff. You can get rid of it by using the Call Blocker. It's a customer pick on hsn.com. And Lori Leland, my buddy, is here. I have not worked with you in a couple weeks.
I know it's been
feel a void.
too long.
I feel a real void.
I've been missing you terribly.
I have missed you too.
It's about time we're reunited.
Is this not the best thing ever? I even love that it's got the big, it's like the big, we have one of these in our control room.
Right.
Where
when
you know,
you say things you're not supposed to say.
Yeah, or if something comes up, if you should happen to say a bad word or whatever, we go, and that actually blocks it out so you don't hear it. This is kind of the same.
That never happened.
No, it never happened here. But this is the kind of the same thing for your home. It blocks out people you don't want to talk to.
That's exactly it. This is the ultimate way for you to maintain the peace and sanctity of your home, in my humble opinion. I love the Call Blocker. This is that big red button, that one-touch button to block calls. No matter what phone system you're using, if you have DSL, if you have a landline, if you have voice over IP, no matter what type of handsets you have, if you have multiple handsets in your home, all you need is one of the Call Blocker. And to Guy's point, this is the lowest price we've ever offered on this item in our history here. And it's a huge customer pick. People absolutely love it. Here's how easy it is to install. There are no passwords, no activation, no ongoing fees, none of that stuff. All you do is plug the line in to the Call Blocker from the wall, and then the other part goes right into the phone. We're including everything that you need. You get full instructions. So you're getting an instruction manual that will talk you through this no matter what type of phone system you have. And then when those guys call in and want to know if you're going to vote for their candidate, if they can count on your vote, if you want to contribute to the campaign, we all know political season is in full swing right now, and you don't want to deal with it, and you don't want to hear from those people ever again. All you do is touch that big red button, and it empowers you by blocking those calls. But here's what I want you to know. This comes pre-loaded with 200 of the worst offenders. So you get this out of the box, you plug it right in, and immediately you will notice a reduction in those nuisance calls. So the international call centers, the scam callers, the robo-callers, 200 of them are pre-loaded here, and then you can personally block another 1,000 calls that you don't want to have to deal with.
And it's so easy. You set the thing up in a matter of seconds. It's a couple of clicks of the plug, and then remember, just one blocking click on top of the red button.
That's it.
And it disappears. For a long time, and this was my issue, I got rid of a lawn company.
Oh, right.
Right? And I didn't, sorry, they weren't doing a good job. I got rid of them. They waited a month or two, then they kept calling.
Oh, they drive you crazy, don't they?
And calling, and I'm like, why? They wanted to get my business back, and I was like, but they wouldn't leave a message. But it made me so mad when I finally realized it was them. I'm like, are you the people that have been calling me 3 times a day?
Hey.
I would have blocked them.
I am on the do not call list, and I had somebody call me in my home and ask if I had time to do a brief 30-minute survey. I said, first of all, 30 minutes is not brief.
It's not brief.
Okay, so here's an unknown call. I can block it right now, but I want to go ahead and see what this person has to say. Hello?
Yes, hi, this is Jessica from the Senator Birch campaign. We're just count on your vote for re-election.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jessica. I don't have time right now. Thank you. Okay, so I actually said something to her because, I feel for these people. It's their job.
You gave her one shot.
Thank you, Jessica. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just press the big red button. And you saw on this beautiful 3-inch screen, it said successful. That number has now been added to my do not call blocking list. That means that person will never, ever be able to get through again. Now, you do need to subscribe to caller ID service for this to work. I just want you to know that right now. You do need that because it needs to be able to read that incoming caller. But you're going to be able to scroll through. Now, keep in mind, we're just showing part of the number here because this is these are extensions within HSN. But the really cool thing is maybe you change your mind about somebody. Maybe your ex-husband does send you flowers and you guys mend fences or whatever the case is. We're human beings. We change our minds. You're going to be able to unblock that caller just as easily by pressing the white button over here on the side.
This is a great, everything in this show is a great Mother's Day gift because we got Mother's Day coming up before you know it's going to be here in a week.
Right.
So it's not too late to grab these things for Mother's Day. And trust me, you'll help out mom or grandma if they're getting all these weird phone calls. Or even, it could even be a caller. And this has happened. Another friend of mine, somebody was calling them at night. Late. Like, a caller that you don't know who it is, they're calling and they're hanging up. I mean, what other control would you have? You'd have to try to call the phone company, the police, and all that. Block them out. Because remember, more often than not, the biggest way to get rid of somebody is to ignore it.
Right.
And you can ignore it automatically every time when you hit the call blocker just by hitting that button. The unfortunate news, by the way, is I only have 1,000 of these to go around for the whole country. And at the lowest price we've ever done. And on FlexPay, they're going to go very quickly. This is such a great gift to give to somebody that that maybe, even could be somebody that's trouble sleeping, doesn't want to take certain phone calls, at any time of day. I get phone calls in the morning. Hey, if anybody is going to call you at those times, they deserve to be blocked.
That's exactly it. And this could be great for senior citizens in your life, people that might be a little bit more vulnerable. All right, let's see who this is. Another unknown. You can block all unknown, all restricted. Hello?
Is your refrigerator running?
Oh, man. Block that.
No, he didn't. I just got a prank call, so look what I did.
Yeah.
I actually pushed pound 2.
It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
When you think about some of those ones they do to you.
I know.
Used to have guys do that at the restaurant all the time. They'd ask the dirty name and you'd be like, what? So anyway, the point is, the point
you don't have to deal with that in your home. Our time is sacred with our families.
This is very empowering.
It's very empowering.
You know what I mean?
That big red button, you just feel really, really empowered. And like you said, people that are vulnerable, susceptible. We actually had a young lady, she was in her 70s. She called into the show and said, oh my gosh, what would I have done without my call blocker? I keep people from calling me by pressing that button. It could be relatives that are driving you crazy. It could be telemarketers. We all know the political season is underway. This lady was actually telling me she had someone call her home phone and say that they knew the internet wasn't working in her home and it would cost $300 to fix it. And she said very calmly to that individual, I'm sorry, I don't have internet service in my home. Block. And now that person won't be able to get through with a different scam and trying to pull the wool over her eyes.
I have 900 left. So it takes a little while for people to get this, and then they're like, oh my gosh, you mean anybody that I want to block from calling me, I can do that? Think about the number of calls that people get on a daily basis, most of which are just calls, that you don't even want to talk to the people. It's like, oh, I've had it, you can block them. Now, Lori, you said if I block somebody, I do have the ability to let them back in.
Absolutely.
True?
You can unblock. We're human beings. We change our minds. It happens. It absolutely happens. Or maybe you block someone on accident. Maybe you jump
you had a fight with somebody, you don't want to talk to them for a while.
Exactly. Take a break. And you can even block unlisted numbers, unregistered numbers. You can block an entire area code. Maybe everybody rubs you wrong that is from a certain area. You're going to be able to block the entire area code. It's totally up to you. So you're so empowered with this. You actually have the buttons over on the side so you can scroll through and see on that beautiful 3-inch screen. And this makes your caller ID larger, so it's easier to see for you too. But you can see I'm scrolling through all the different numbers that we blocked here in the past. If you'd like to unblock at any time, touch the white button on this side. But that big red button is like that plunger, ending that call immediately.
I love the big button.
Here's the thing. You're going to be able to call before you answer it. You can see that number pop up on your caller ID right on the screen or on the handset, so you can push the big red button then. Or if you get stuck on the call, you're going to be able to push the button within the call at any time. You don't even have to say a word to the other person. You can just press block and then they're blocked. You can block after the fact, so you can block anytime, unblock anytime. And again, here's how easy it is. All you're doing is plugging this in. One end goes right into the wall, the other into the telephone line. Full instructions are included. And these are paper instructions. You don't have to go online. You don't have to insert a disc. There's nothing extra to do with this. And there are no ongoing fees, no hidden costs, no passwords.
No, it's free. Once you buy the unit, it's free.
No activation. You own this forever. You switch home phones, systems, maybe you get a different set of handsets, you're gonna be able to use your call blocker. You only need one. And from any handset in your home, even if you're not near that big red button, all you do when someone calls in and it's a nuisance call, you press pound and 2, and that person will be registered onto your do not call list. You can block up to 1,000 names and numbers. This comes preloaded with 200 of the worst offenders, worldwide call centers, known scam callers, bad guys out there trying to get at your personal private information, your cash, wanting to call and get your social security number, all of that stuff. They're already preloaded 200 of those. So you'll immediately notice a reduction in your nuisance callers right when you hook it up.
They filtered those out already right before you even start. And then, of course, you've got all the other backup ones that you've got up to 1,200 other numbers you can get rid of. You know, I love it. I think it's such a great idea.
So
and it's really great, as I said before, if you want to get something for Mom for Mother's Day, it's a really cool and very useful gift for her.
Great for parents.
Yeah, they're just, I'm sick and
this.
tired of being bothered. You know what? You can even make a noise yourself when you hit the button. You go, if you want to do that. I wish it did that.
It is very empowering.
So it can be like, just get rid of them. Anyway, it's a great item. It's $79.95. I've got 800 available for those that want to get it. It's going quickly with free shipping and the lowest price we've done. Hey, Lori has got the most amazing